Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel, TammyTalks here. Let's go ahead and get into Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 6. You dropped a bomb on me, Clint and Gina. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. Make sure to share this with a friend. Hop into the comment section, y'all. Y'all know the goal is 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Alright, so let's go ahead, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Okay. All right, so Gina and Clint. So they're talking. I feel like every scene between them is forced, for one. But they're talking, and Gina thinks that they have very easy conversation between the two of them. And she feels that they can work on the physical later. So even though, she's not really feeling him per se physically because he's a ginger, as she said, she thinks that because of the way that they're able to vibe with each other, that this, the physical can come later, and she's okay with that. She has no problem with that. So while they're out at the pool, Gina's talking about how she doesn't go on vacation often. She doesn't have fun that often. Gina is work, 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 work. So Clint was like, I'm going to teach you to have some fun. And we're going to get out on these boats. We're going to go surfing and sailing and all the things. I'm going to teach you how to relax, which is really what she needs. So then she starts talking about her business again. We don't care. We don't care about your hair business. We don't. I don't care about your hair business. So she's like, yeah, I have to get to a place where my salon can run without me. I feel like, you know what, Gina? If you are running a salon and you have people that are renting out booths from you or working underneath you, if your hairstylist don't know how to service their clients without you being there, that's a whole nother set of problems. That is a whole nother set of problems. My beautician is not in that salon 24 hours a day while the other 5 or so stylists that she has working there service their clients. If you don't trust your people that you hired to be there without you having your eyeballs on them, that's a whole nother set of problems. Could be your managing, could be the system you got in place going over there. Maybe you hiring some fugazi people, I don't know. But that logic is flawed. That logic is flawed. So she talks about how she just bought, what she say, she bought like a 7-year mortgage or something on this new brick and mortar she's going to be having and all this other stuff. And it's like, girl, you just want to talk. So of course she's talking and talking and talking and talking in circles, and Clint is over it because, again, he don't care and neither do I. So later they're hanging out with all the other couples, and this is where it gets a mess. So while they're hanging out with the other couples, for one, Clint asks Eris, did he blow Jasmine's back out? Inappropriate. Completely inappropriate. Completely and utterly inappropriate. Because why are you bringing that up? Because now everybody is like, what? Who getting their black? Who said that? Who said that? There was no reason for you to say that. Completely inappropriate. So Eris is kind of looking at him like, oh, damn. So they're sitting around talking, and Gina said that they struggle with physical attraction. Now, Gina, you started this conversation off. She did, okay? But she says that they struggle with physical attraction. And then she said they're trying to work through it. Everything else is cool with them. So Clint's like, yeah. So physically, I date women that are typically more slender and more athletic, and that's just who I've been attracted to. Now, here's the thing. If that's who you're attracted to, Clint, perfectly fine. If that's who you are attracted to, perfectly fine. I'm going to say it again for a third time so y'all don't come in the comments and tell me that I'm wrong. If that is who Clint is attracted to, that is perfectly fine, right? There is zero judgment about that. The issue is how he said it and why he said it. You said it to be a jerk because you felt the way that she said the day before she did not typically date red-headed men, aka gingers, which y'all said in the comments is offensive. I never knew that. Somebody said that it's just as offensive as the N-word. It's not. And we're not going to play that game over on this channel. Like I told y'all in the comments. If it's offensive, I will give y'all that. It is not nearly as offensive as calling somebody or being called the N-word. Because we're not calling it the G-word. So, back to Clint and Gina. So, all the women are just kind of like taken aback because all the women on there, none of them are super, super slim, right? All of the women have body, B-A-W-D-Y, contrary to what Mitch said last season. But all the women they're shapely, you know what I mean? Nobody on there is super, super thin. So the women were all kind of not only taken aback, but you can see disgust and offense written all over their faces. So then Clint is like, yeah, it's, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So then he was like, well, she says she doesn't like redheads. So, here we are. And the way that I would have been so awkward if I was there, everybody was just kind of like, because what do you say? Where do you go from there? So then the guys and the girls, they separate. They go hang out. The guys are talking. And Clint said that he didn't say that she was thicker. He just said that he dates more slender women. He said he's very careful, how words affect people and what that does. So he's very careful about those things. So he would never, say that she was thicker. I just said that, more slender. I said, semantics? What? Stop it. So he said that all she does is talk about the salon. So he feels that she came on the show to promote her business. Now, that's one bucket. That's one bucket. But the thing is, that has nothing to do with you talking about her weight indirectly. I feel like this is low-key. This is like the Xanab and Cole cutie situation. It is a indirect jab. This is a little more direct than the whole cutie situation, but it's kind of the same premise. You didn't have to specifically say it. It's implied, right? So he says that all she does is talk about her business. He then goes on to say that she was very disinterested last night and didn't want to talk, and he doesn't understand why. Because you basically called her fat. You all but said, I like women that aren't as fat as you. That's how that came out, Clint. So McKinley then said, well, I used to have smaller businesses myself, and you do pour your soul into it. You put your everything into your own business. I get that. I understand that. People do that with YouTube. People do that with blogs and podcasts and, all types of businesses that you can have. So McKinley is like, yeah. He then goes on to say, I think Gina is sexy and gorgeous. And I think you're crazy to think that she's not. And everybody is looking at him like, nah, what? What are you doing? What are you talking about? Why would you say anything? What? Come on, McKinley. So then McKinley in his confessional doubles down and said that he doesn't see Clint pulling girls that look better than Gina. So now we're setting the perfect storm for Clint to take this back and tell Gina, well, maybe you want somebody like McKinley. So meanwhile, over on the girl side, Gina was like, let's be clear. My waistline is a 26. I said, get into it. I know that's right because Gina doesn't look big. That's the thing. Gina doesn't look big. Her waist is a 26. Them thighs are not. So she is a little fuller, but by no means is she anyone who you should be talking about her weight. So she felt the way. The girls all felt the way. A disaster. Later that night, they're hanging out by the swings, like in the water. And Gina is very standoffish. She's very quiet. She said in her confessional, it is offensive to bring up someone's weight in a group setting with a new group of friends. Yes. Yes. It's offensive to bring up people's weight in general. I can stand when people bring up weight. I can't. I've never been a person that brought up weight. I've never been a person that talks about weight. I'm not a person that fixates on weight. I hate when I hear people say, oh, you've gained weight. Oh, you look bigger. Or, oh, you've lost. Oh, you look so much smaller than before. I can't, like, everybody should just worry about their own weight. So later, Gina and Clint are talking about the comment. He lies and said, I didn't say slender. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because you just sat up there and told the guys, yeah, no, I said slender for a reason. You did say slender. So you sitting up here lying to her face, and for what? You're on camera. So he then flips it and it's like, oh, and you don't think ginger is an offensive term? And she was like, no, I specialize in red hair. I said, Gina, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, now I see what she was saying because she then followed it up with, I specialize in red hair. So a lot of the people that I deal with, that I do their hair, they refer to themselves as gingers. But if he's telling you it's offensive, then it's offensive to him. So then you need to curtail that. But she's on defense mode now. And now he's on defense mode. So he said that he was not trying to offend her, and he just wanted to show that he was an open and honest person. This is like Mitch 2.0 in the worst way. But this is Mitch 2.0. So he then goes on to give I'm sorry for how you feel, which is yikes. He said he wanted to be honest about who he typically dates. And that's fine. If you want to be honest about who you typically date, that's perfectly fine. But that was not the time or the place to do that. You could have did that when she told you she don't typically date men with red hair. You could have did that then in the privacy of your own personal conversation, where nobody would be embarrassed and nobody's feelings were hurt. But see, you said, you embarrass me right now on this camera. I'm going to get you back, and I'm going to get you back on camera, and I'm going to get you back in front of everybody. Because the moment that she told him that she was not attracted or typically dated men with red hair, you can see them wheels churning. He was ready to come at her. So then she says in her confessional, the fact that Clint talks at her is a red flag, which it is. Because she's trying to have a conversation and he's all but talking over her and yelling at her. Instead of just him saying, you know what, you're right, I shouldn't have said that in front of everybody. He's going to double and triple down because in his mind, I was right because I'm being open and honest. I can't stand people that like to hide behind that guise of I'm being open and honest and feel that they can use that as an excuse to be awful to people. That is not an excuse for you to come on and be completely awful to people. What time we at? Can I talk now? Cuss now? Or for you to be an asshole to people. That is not how life works. But see, that's how Clint goes through life. That's the mentality that he has. And ain't nobody checked his ass in yet. And that's why he keeps doing it. So she's like, I'm not about to do this. And she starts to walk away. So then he yells, what an unfortunate turn of events. You started it. No, he didn't. He didn't start it. Gina, you started this, but it's like Clint, you kept this going because you could have just apologized, or if you felt that her calling you a ginger was so offensive to you, which you have that right to feel that way, then you should have told her that in the moment. Don't try to make an example out of her. So he then yells after her, "You don't have a leg to stand on. Now you're trying to turn the tide, because that's what adults do, right?" So she walks away. He's in his confessional, said that she is being cantankerous and trying to villainize him to make herself look better. Said he is starting to make him think if this is going to work or not. Let me tell you this, Clint. She didn't have to try to make you look bad. You're making yourself look bad. You are making yourself look completely awful. Completely awful, because you look like a little scorned child that's mad. She said that my hair is red, so I'm going to try to get her back. When you should have just been real with her and been like, you know what, I don't like that. That's offensive. Don't do that. Don't do that. And that could have been nipped in the bud right away. But you wanted to get her back and made yourself look like a fool. Literally nobody is on your side. Nobody that I saw, at least. It's going to be somebody in the comments. But literally nobody that I have seen as of the recording of this that is on your side or feels that anything that just happened or that you said was justified. Hop down in the comments, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this. Who was right? Who was wrong in this situation? Is Clint wrong? Or was Gina wrong? Let's talk about it down below. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys in the next one.